What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. God, y'all chew so loud.
Oh, he's mad at you.
You must have done something.
Valerie, look the other way.
It was that last joke you told him. So today we're back here in the newly named middle pasture because we're now focusing on the front pasture, which is on the front part of our property. So this is now the middle pasture. And we've been walking this a lot over the last probably 2 or 3 months because we've had a lot of really rough weather come through. And one thing we've learned being on this property is that when we have a storm, we always need to check our fence lines. And so you guys have been on several of those fence line walks with us. But lately, the reason we've been taking these walks is not just because of the wind, but we have a new threat on the homestead. Can hear him chewing. You might not be able to hear him. Dang it, I wish I could see him. Okay, so I'm gonna try and be quiet if that's possible. So we started noticing back towards the back part of our property that we had some new activity with the beaver. And we don't mind it back there because he dams up certain parts of the creek and it makes our creek run a lot nicer. So when we were back here chasing Freckles, I noticed some trees that were smaller that had been chewed on. And that was okay because it was still kind of in the back part of the middle pasture, almost to the back pasture. And that was, again, still okay. But then back in the fall, we started noticing some bigger trees that had been chewed on. And I wasn't as too concerned because they were on the other side of our fence line going towards, there's a pond right here on the other side of our property line. And that's kind of the area that they've stayed in, is because there's a beaver hut over there and everything was fine. But then we came out here this past week and we found a lot more problems. One, there's a tree that is completely down. Let me show you it. And I say down, it's really not. It's literally hanging in the air because it fell in between another tree. See, this tree, trees don't grow sideways, y'all. And you can see where he chewed it off right there and chewed the tree. Now those wood chips, you can tell this is not super new because those wood chips are kind of water stained from everything. But if you look right there and right there, he has been, and I've never known him to do this, I'll have to ask Jason, but it looks like he's climbed up and actually been chewing on the underside of this bark because that's the part that they like to eat. So I guess he figured since he's not going to be able to use this for anything, he's going to use it to feed off of. Now another thing, when we turned around, because here's the tree right here. When I turned around, I started noticing all of these holes. And it's a very intricate system here because there's one here. And it's a tunnel. It goes all the way down in through there. And pushes through to over here. So that still goes underneath there. And then there's more going through here all the way over, and it opens up out into the pond. So pretty sure, and this is how I know, because look, there's water, and the water's coming up from, so there's another hole right there, and woo, there's about to be a hole right there, y'all. I almost stepped in that one. That was bad. So there's definitely something, you know, or some things, because there's probably more than one, kind of working this area back here. So we're trying to keep an eye on it. Now, after we found that tree, then came over here, and again, that tree didn't bother me because it wasn't harming anything that we have. However, this tree right here is now harming us because this is my fence line. So when he chewed down this tree, and let me show you that, when he chewed this one, it fell, and it obviously didn't fall the way he wanted it to, because if you look out in the water, you can see where this other tree that he's cut down, it's actually laying out in the pond. And if you look over there, there's actually some trees down that he's pulling out into the pond there as well. So this one obviously did not fall the way that he wanted it to. And so now he's not really been able to do anything with this tree. Can't even really feed off of it. But if you see, it's all the way here on my side of the property, and it's hanging on the fence line. So now we're walking up closer towards the front gate, and I actually just noticed some other activity over here. There's definitely some trails going through here. Oh, but look at this guy. What you doing there, buddy? Huh? What you doing? Hmm? Where are you going? Are you in cahoots with the beaver? He gives you some spots where you can chill with your feet in the water and not have to swim. Huh? What I noticed is there are some areas over here that he's been active for a while. We just never noticed them because they were smaller trees. So if you look right here, that has been chewed up. Both of these guys have been chewed up. That one's been chewed up right there, and that one right there. Now, this part of the tree that looks like it's been peeled away, I don't think that that is from a beaver, because you don't really, well, no. Now that I look closer, I really do think that is, because if you look really hard, you can see there's actually some horizontal chew marks on there. This isn't something that's new, but it may be that something else stripped it away and then they chewed on it, because I don't see any wood chips anywhere. We just never noticed it because it's way down here. Like if you look behind me, like there's all these cedars and stuff behind me and up that way. So over this way is where our front gate is to go towards the house. Here we are further up. There's another area that's been chewed up. And if you see that tree right there, it's the same as the other one I showed you, where it looks like just part of it's been chewed up to a certain point and then he stopped. Oh no. We got something new we gotta pay attention to now. So we're on our way walking back from the middle pasture up here towards the homestead, and one of the girls looked at me and said, don't think the beaver's still in the back pasture anymore. And I was like, why? Why do you say that? And they're like, look, Mom. So the first thing was this tree right here. That was there yesterday. That chew is new, as well as that area right there. You can see that. So that's all new as of yesterday. Then we walked up a little bit further and we found this tree over here. There's more chew on the side there. He's making his way up closer towards the house and around the pond. And as far as I'm concerned, and I really think Jason is too, any of these trees along the bank, we're not in love with. We could certainly stand to lose them. So just like before, I think a couple of years ago he showed up and he moved his way up here, but then I think we had an otter come in and kind of spook him off back over to where he used to be. But we haven't seen the otter this year, so I think he's been comfortable to move closer up here this year. But he's getting awfully close. And the only reason why I'm concerned is because on this side of the pond, I'm okay with. But over there is where my house is. And there are trees along the bank that they're striking distance to my house. They're tall enough that if he does like he did back there and it falls the wrong direction, it could land on my house. So we're trying to monitor his movement. So far it looks like he's just on this bank. So if you think that I'm just worrying a little too much, let me know in the comments below, because I'm really on heightened alert right now, paying attention to the bottoms of these trees. It seems like every time I walk I'm seeing more chew marks. Jason thinks I'm just a little bit, not overreacting, but he doesn't think that the beavers are gonna come towards the house. So I'm going to kind of rely on his expertise. He's been doing this for a really long time, but I'm still paying attention to the bottoms of the trees. Thanks for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless and have a nice day.